The 2023 NBA draft has come and gone, and I gotta say there wasn't a lot of exciting things that happened. Victor Wembenyama went #1 overall, of course, because he's like 8 feet tall and can do everything that a point guard can do. And then Brandon Miller did go #2 overall. That wasn't exactly a shock. There was just a chance that Scoot Henderson would go #2, and there were no major trades in the top 5. Scoot Henderson went 3, Amen Thompson went 4, Oscar Thompson went 5. The only really notable exceptions are the Wizards taking Bilal Coulibaly, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Bilal Coulibaly at 8, or was it 7? I've already forgotten. And then Cam Whitmore fell to 20 to the Rockets. Those are the only 2 real notable exceptions. There wasn't even a lot of trading that went on last night, other than some second-round picks. So all in all, kind of a straightforward, unimpressive 2023 NBA draft as far as the entertainment value was concerned. But there are some good players coming out, and what we're going to be doing, instead of a career simulation, 1 video for Victor Wembanyama, and then 1 video for Scoot Henderson, and then 1 video for Brandon Miller. We're going to be going 20 years into the future to determine how the next 20 years of this 2023 NBA draft class plays out. Now, I've done my best to recreate the rosters. There's some guys like Kristaps Porzingis who have yet to accept or decline their player options. We'll take care of that when we have to, but we are going 20 years into the future. How does the NBA look? How is the NBA landscape going to look? And we'll just simulate right on through. And there's your first injury. Apparently, Dariq Whitehead, also known as Derek Whitehead, has a broken left wrist and he's gone for the season. Well, that is not ideal. David Duke Jr., I don't care. Now, I think there's no surprises. We'll be primarily following the careers of the top 5 guys because those guys have the potential to be something great. Brandon Miller can average 30 points a night. Theoretically in 2K23. Victor Wembanyama can become God. Scoot Henderson and Amen Thompson can be great point guards. But we will do our best to check in on every single first round pick, every single player drafted in this last year's draft class. But we'll just see, how does Victor Wembanyama do in his rookie year for these San Antonio Spurs? Injuries are on, so in case anybody gets hurt, that's just going to be part of real life, like Lonzo Ball being out for the entire next season before we've even gone into free agency. Injuries happen. That is the way of the NBA. And oh my God, I have to press so many buttons. Coming in at the end of the first season, we have Ja Morant winning MVP. That'll be a fat chance. Victor Wembanyama does win Rookie of the Year. 21.8 points, 11.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1 steal, 2.3 blocks, 46 from the field, 83 from the free throw line, and 27% for the three-point line. That is one of the major concerns, is that he cannot shoot the 3 all that well. Of course, he is 8 feet tall. Cliff Paul wins 6th Man of the Year. Giannis Defensive Player of the Year. Most improved is Jonathan Kuminga. Quinn Snyder apparently is Coach of the Year, and some guy is Executive of the Year. Don't really care about any of these right now, except for how are the rookies. So we have Victor Wembanyama, Brandon Miller, Chet Holmgren does make the all-rookie first team, even though he's not a rookie. Scoot Henderson, and then Derek Lively is the starting center for the all-rookie first team. Second team is Jalen Hood Schifino, Taylor Hendricks, Oscar Thompson, Anthony Black, and Jarris Walker. No Sadners on the all-rookie second team. How can I view some of these stats? I believe there's a rookie leaderboard, the rookie report, if you will. So there is Brandon Miller, averaged 24 points a game as a rookie. Wow, and he does not win Rookie of the Year. I don't know. These two, like the numbers that they put up in 2K23 simulation, are absolutely ridiculous, but that'll work. Grady Dick gave you 15 off the bench. That's really good. Chet Holmgren gave you 14 and 11. I don't even know if it counts. It's kind of that Ben Simmons thing where, is he a rookie? Is he not a rookie? Taylor Hendricks, not too bad. 14-5 and 1.6. Scoot Henderson, only 13, 4, and 5. Unfortunately, in this game, at least the roster that I use, Scoot Henderson is underappreciated. Plus, he's behind Damian Lillard, so it's going to be tough for him to start a really good career. Jarris Walker was okay. Jalen Hood Schifino, Oscar Thompson, apparently better than Amen Thompson. Keontae George gave you a solid 12. Bilal Coulibaly, 11 and 3. Amen Thompson, 11, 4, and 6. Stuffed the stat sheet pretty well, and I think that's going to be a very good pickup for the Houston Rockets. Brandon Podzemski was okay. 10 points for him. Derek Lively gave you 10 and 8. Not bad. Kind of exactly what the Mavericks need, so hopefully he can fill that role. And then Chris Murray, how did he shoot from the three-point line? Because that's what they need the most. 28%, simply unacceptable for a guy who's supposed to be 3 and D. Jet Howard was solid for the Magic. 9 points for him. Anthony Black gave you 9, 3, and 4. Cason Wallace, 7. Marcus Hazard, 7. Dariq Whitehead, 6.5. Noah Clowney, 6.3. But yeah, a lot of good players. Jaime Jaquez wasn't all that good, even though he went to the Heat. Leading them in our rebounds is Victor Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren, Derek Lively, and Brandon Miller somehow got 8 rebounds and assists. Went to Amen Thompson, 6.1 for him. Scoot gave you 5.9. Jalen Hood Schifino gave you 5.6. Anthony Black, 4.6. Oscar Thompson, 4 assists. I don't know about that. He's not really an assist machine. He's supposed to be a scorer. Who was the best 3-point shooter of this rookie crop? Brandon Miller, 35%. Not bad. Anybody shoot in the highs? Taylor Hendricks gave you 43% on 3.8 attempts. That's not bad. 47% for Marcus Sasser. I don't think he got too many minutes though. Derek Whitehead came back from that broken wrist. Going to be interesting to see how Derek Whitehead plays out. He's kind of very similar to Adrian Griffin for the Atlanta Hawks. Grady Dick was pretty good, 41% for him. Anyway, all in all, pretty interesting rookie season in that Victor Wembanyama wins everything. We're going to be simulating through the playoffs because most of these players are still good. Brandon Ingram, apparently it's going to be Hawks Pelicans, and Zion Williamson is healthy. So I guess the Pelicans win everything. All the strippers are crying there, and LeBron James does retire the year before his kid gets drafted. Don't really know about that, but Cliff Paul is gone. Andre Iguodala is gone. No rookies here because, I mean, it's their first season. And Greg Popovich is gone. It's going to be interesting to see how that affects Victor Wembanyama's development. Whole bunch of retirees, whole bunch of jerseys. Blake Griffin got his jersey retired. Does that really actually happen in real life? I don't think so, but let's see how the second year, the sophomore campaign for these rookies do. I bet Brandon Miller takes a huge step up, averages maybe 28 points a game. I bet Victor Wembanyama throws his hat into the MVP conversation, and I bet Victor Wembanyama is already up to an 88 overall. Absolutely ridiculous. Brandon Miller up to an 83 overall, already an A 3-point shot. If this actually works out, the LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller comparison is going to be great. They also picked up James Wiseman. That's just good basketball moves now that Michael Jordan is no longer there. All things being equal, I would just dump Damian Lillard and Anthony Simons and rock the future of Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot Henderson and see where that front court will take you. But 84 overall for Shaedon Sharpe, 84 overall for Scoot Henderson. Going to be good. Hopefully he gets the minutes and develops in the way that he has the potential to. And then I believe the Rockets have Amen Thompson. Did he develop at all? Not really. 80 overall. I have big hopes for Amen. He was probably my favorite prospect out of this whole draft class. Just watching him in the overtime elite was unnatural. There, you could tell that he was just the best player on the court, period. His problem, he can't shoot. Always going to be a problem in today's NBA. And how is, wow, okay, somehow Jaime Jaquez came over. Cam Whitmore, 75 overall, not too bad for them. And then who was the number 5 overall pick? It was the Pistons, Oscar Thompson, yes? Let's see where he is, 78 overall. How did he do last season? I've already forgotten. 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Not bad, not terrible. Darius Garland wins MVP. Just beat out Victor Wembanyama, who's down here. Where is Brandon Miller? He's probably pretty far down. Maybe he didn't have a great second season, yeah. Not too bad, not too terrible. But Sean Kelly wins Rookie of the Year. Damian Lillard, 6th Man of the Year. Ooh, did Scoot Henderson beat out Dame Time in his second year? Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player of the Year, 25 points, 13 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 1.4 steals, 3 blocks, 51, 86, 34 splits for Vic. Scoot Henderson wins Most Improved, up to 20 points per game, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 51 from the field, 78 from the free throw line, and 37% from the 3-point line. JB Bickerstaff, Brandon Harrison, all in all, don't care about that. Victor Wembanyama makes the All-NBA first team in his second season. He's an 89 overall. Joker, twisted right knee, that hurts. Second team, nobody notable. Third team, nobody. Defense, we saw Victor Wembanyama, 1 Defensive Player of the Year, so you got to take that. Blocker Kessler is here. Boy, size is important. Wow, Derek Lively makes the all-defensive second team, not too bad. Scoot Henderson, torn right tricep, gone for the season. That hurts. Oof, okay. Rookies, I don't think any of these people we really care about, but not too bad. And the Spurs, 2 years after drafting number 1 overall, are the best team in the NBA, 2 games ahead of the Thunder, 57 and 25. Let's check out some of these stats for the big name players in this draft class. Of course, we saw Victor Wembanyama, just an unreal stat line. How did Brandon Miller do? He was kind of poised to be the leading scorer of the league, and it looks like maybe he took a little bit of a step back. 22 points per game for him, which is interesting because his rookie year he had 24. Maybe he had a reduced role, maybe he was hurt. Not sure how to explain that, but 7 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 46 from the field, 38% from the 3-point line. That went down too, right? No, it's up. Yeah, I don't know. Brandon Miller just kind of took a step back. A guy who took a step forward, though, was that Scoot Henderson from the Trail Blazers. And Damian Lillard, he just went to the bench. 91 overall. They said, we're moving in the future. Scoot, unfortunately, gone for the playoff run, but 20 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists is incredible numbers from him. Definitely took a major step up. Look at this. Shooting splits, 33% from 3 to 37. 47% from the field to 51. Scoot Henderson took off. As for the Rockets, speaking of taking off, get it? Rockets, take off. How did my man Amen Thompson do? He's not even in the starting lineup. That hurts. 10 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, just didn't get the minutes. 21 minutes a night for the number 4 overall pick. Who beat him out? Was it really Kevin Porter Jr.? Ugh, the Kevin Porter Jr. point guard experiment I'm so done with. And lastly, taking a peek at the number 5 overall pick, Ausar Thompson, also only got 20 minutes, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Not great for the Thompson twins. It's kind of brutal. Hopefully they'll be able to step forward, do a little better next season, get some more minutes. Also, interesting note, the number 8 Portland Trailblazers taking on the number 1 seeded San Antonio Spurs. 2 of our major rookies are here, and the Spurs just roll because Victor Wembanyama is literally God. There's nothing else to say. Rockets also here. Of course, 2K loves favoring the youth movement, and the Hawks are back in the finals, and they have lost their second finals in a row to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Moving into year 3 as Kyle Lowry, who was on the Warriors, retires. I don't think we're going to be seeing any rookies for the next 10 years. All these staff signings are not all that interesting. Russell Westbrook going into the Hall of Fame, going to get his jersey retired. So is Draymond Green, so is Mr. Toronto. And we'll see how the Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, Amen Thompson, Ausar Thompson, and Brandon Miller players look after their second year of player progression. I think Victor's going to be into the 93 overalls. I think Scoot and Brandon Miller might be hitting 90, but Victor, 92 overall, 1 overall off. How is Amen up to an 85? Not bad. He jumped 5 overalls this offseason. Put in a lot of work. How is Ausar doing? 83 overall. Pretty good for him. Who are the other players? The Hornets picked up Kyle Kuzma. Interesting, but Brandon Miller going to be starting over him. 86 overall. Not terrible, but LaMelo Ball is clearly outshining him at 95 overall. And lastly, my man Scoot Henderson, 89 overall, up 5 points for him. Damian Lillard reached the age of regression, down into the 90s, down into the 80s. That's the word I was looking for. Shaedon Sharp's doing okay. Yeah, going to be interesting to see what happens this season. Already Victor Wembanyama has made his announcement, his proclamation, I'm the best damn player in the NBA. Darius Garland wins another MVP. Theodore Valentine Rookie of the Year. 6th man is Benjamin Simmons on the Brooklyn Nets. Victor Wembanyama wins his 2nd Defensive Player of the Year in a row. 26.7 points, 13 rebounds, 43% from 3. Vic is climbing. Anthony Black wins the most improved this year. 15, 4, and 9. Pretty good. 28% from 3 is honestly unacceptable. I don't know if he'll ever be able to start if that's the kind of stats that he's putting up. JB Bickerstaff, Brandon Harrison, don't care. Victor Wembanyama once again on the All-NBA first team. That was a button I was looking for. Second team, not seeing anybody. LaMelo Ball, he's hurt, so maybe Brandon Miller took a big step up statistically. Defensively, Chet Holmgren, it doesn't count. Ausar Thompson and Amen Thompson and Victor Wembanyama all on the all-defensive first team. Second team, once again, Derek Lively made it. Ooh, Lonzo Ball is back. He was gone. He's gone for the season, if y'all didn't know that. But here we are. How did the rookies do? Player stats, and player stats. Victor Wembanyama, as we saw, was just incredible this season. As always, has such a mean campaign. Amen Thompson hurt 1 to 2 weeks, but he had that'll work. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists, almost 2 steals, a block, defensive stalwart, offensive machine. 31% from 3 isn't going to cut it though. He does need to bump that up. He's only 23 years old at this point of the video, but still 30%. You got to at least shoot league average, which I think is 37%. Amen, nope. Ausar Thompson, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. This is really good. Ausar Thompson has developed better than his brother has, and I think he's like half the prospect. 34% from the 3-point line. He's just flourishing right now. Jaden Ivey is out. He's doing everything that he needs to become a very good NBA player. Lastly, my man Scoot Henderson, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. That is MVP caliber numbers. 2 steals. How's he from the 3-point line? 40%. That's exactly what you need. And finally, the number 2 overall pick, who I seem to always forget, only 22 points again. It's like he's hit a wall. This is as good as he's going to get. 22 points, 7 rebounds, 3-ish assists. The splits are better, the efficiency better, but the stats are not. I'm not sure who's soaking up all these points. Aaron Gordon, Kyle Kuzma, Nick Smith. He's just not getting the buckets. I thought he'd be in the 30-point per game kind of scoring, and he's a little bit disappointing as far as that man is concerned. I don't know what else I could look up to possibly see. And we'll just be simulating through the playoffs because we don't actually care how the playoff results are. The Spurs now fell to the 8th seed, but then they went to the NBA Finals. Okay, don't ask me why, but now it's Pistons at Spurs. Victor Wembenyama versus Osar Thompson, who's playing the small forward. That's fair. Victor's already at 93 overall, just an unreal prospect. And we'll simulate, and it looks like Victor Wembanyama in year 3 is an NBA champion, wins NBA Finals MVP, and honestly, he's banging on the door as far as injuries are concerned. If those stay away from him and his lower legs and his long legs, he is on the door of GOAT status already because he's won a championship, he's won multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards, and now he's starting to win championships. Unreal. Brook Lopez backed him up and said, I just can't handle this. This man is taller than me and plays like Drew Holiday. A lot of former Bucks here. Jimmy Buckets does retire, unfortunately without a ring. Stephanie Curry gone. Staff retirements, nobody that I really care about. And Hall of Fame inductees is Steph and James Harden. Is Jimmy Butler a Hall of Famer? That is a tough question. James Harden, Stephanie Curry going to get their jersey retired, and we'll be simulating into, I believe this is the 4th season. Victor Wembanyama already made his mark. Let's see if some of the other rookies can from this draft class as well. Player progression, 22 years old, Victor Wembanyama, 94 overall. Ridiculous. I don't even know how to describe it. How is my man Scoot doing? 91 overall, officially taking over the reins as Damian Lillard is reaching regression hard, down 4 points. Even Anthony Simons is only an 85, but this Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe pairing, really mean. How is the Rockets doing? Amen Thompson up to an 87 overall. Not bad, not terrible. He needs to put up the numbers statistically because Osar Thompson is coming. 86 overall, and Brandon Miller over here on the Hornets, 87 overall. I think this is as good as he gets. He's kind of been the one disappointment for this video. Everybody else is performing. They're hitting the 90s. They're putting up stats. But Brandon Miller, number 2 overall pick, is not. And while we're here, we'll go around the league a little bit, see if we can find some of these other rookies and see how they've been producing ever since they got drafted. I'm not going to be able to go through all 58 prospects plus the undrafted rookies, but we'll see. Money Bates, Imoni Bates has finally got to earn some minutes for the Clippers. I don't know why his name is Money Bates in this, but it is what it is. 18th overall pick in the 2nd round, projected top 5 pick before he just lost his mind, stopped giving a shit about basketball. I think he went to Memphis for a year before he was draft eligible, was really bad, and then transferred, and then had gun charges, and now has just been a huge question mark. Has the potential to be a good player, as you can see, 76 overall, 8 points a game. Super young, super athletic. He just needs to show that he has the what is the word? Maturity, I guess is the best way to put it. Put in the work, because there's no way to get good in the NBA unless you just live and die in the gym. GG Jackson been okay. Finally got some real minutes in this past season. Also drafted in the 2nd round. I honestly had him as a top 10 prospect when I was watching his tape. Him going head-to-head versus Brandon Miller in the, I think it was the South Carolina-Alabama game. It was something special. He was hitting fadeaways like he was MJ. He's a freak athlete, hard worker. We'll see how he produces in the NBA. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists in his only season. Not bad, just needs a little bit more of a chance. Trace Jackson Davis been okay. 2 seasons for the Wizards, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 4 points, 3 rebounds. Just not a lot of opportunities for Trace. Mohamed Gouye just hasn't had a chance to crack any rotations. I mean, half a rebound, 1 rebound, 1 rebound. He's a decent center. Just don't know how he's gonna get anywhere unless he's in the G League. Amari Bailey, interesting prospect out of UCLA, has had some run, I guess, as the backup shooting guard, point guard for the Hornets. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists is actually a pretty good stat line. I believe this is because I simulated 1 game into the season. But last year, 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Not great, not terrible, but he's an 80 overall. There's certainly something there. Same with Nick Smith Jr., who fell precipitously because of all the injury concerns. At the start of the draft process, I think he was the number 3 prospect, and then he was just hurt, got to come back, wasn't all that impressive, and then sat out the rest of the season. But last year, 14 points, 3 rebounds. No rebounds, but 3 assists. He's got a little bit, they compare him to Gilbert Arenas. He's got that fire. He's athletic. If his injuries don't hold him back, he can shoot pretty well. Going to be an interesting season to see how Nick Smith Jr.'s career plays out, because he has the potential. Of course, Brandon Miller, we've been seeing him. He's just putting up numbers. Not great numbers, but he's putting up numbers. Ooh, Taylor Hendricks we have not spoken about. He is doing really well. 88 overall, averaging 14, 13 points, 7 rebounds. He's one of those great, freaky, kind of weird builds where he's 6'9", can shoot, can defend, can do a little bit of everything. He's a very talented player out of UCF. 1 assist. What are his splits from 3? 37%, 43%. Taylor Hendricks definitely has a bright career. Bryce Sensabaugh, another really good player out of Ohio State. Just undersized. He's definitely not 6'6". I'll tell you that. He's probably closer to 6'3". They have Keontae George. No, yeah, Keontae George and Bryce Sensabaugh. Very similar players. I think Keontae's more athletic. Bryce Sensabaugh has a little bit better shooting. 9 points, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 28% from 3, 38% from 3 this year. Keontae George had a good rookie campaign. 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, but that was kind of it. He's been stuck, hasn't developed at all, and Bryce Sensabaugh has really taken his spot over him. Ooh, Maxwell Lewis out of Pepperdine for the Lakers. Not a bad pickup. 9 points, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 33% for the field. He's a solid 3-and-D wing. If he can get his shooting splits up, he could probably offer something to the Lakers. Of course, the Lakers are in just a weird stage of turmoil for their career and everything that they're doing. Jalen Hood-Schifino's up to an 87 overall. Are you kidding me? LeBron James is gone. Anthony Davis is gone, and instead they have Anthony Edwards. What is happening to this Lakers squad? But Hood-Schifino is putting up unreal numbers. 13 points, 5 assists, 46, 41, 76 splits. Wow. I did not expect him to develop this well, but the 17th overall pick for the Lakers, looking to be a star, looking to be a franchise cornerstone piece. Can you imagine that? Jet Howard, for some reason, named Jeff Howard in this roster. Not bad, not terrible. He's one of those guys that he has a really high floor and a really low ceiling because he's not going to do much beyond being a really good 3-and-D player for them, but he's good, man. Out of Michigan, coached by his son, or coached by his dad. What am I saying? Juwan Howard, solid 3-point player. Solid 3-point splits, 49% from 3 last season, 41, came into the league at 34%. Solid defender. He's not the best athlete, but he's smart and he knows how to play the rotations well. DeJounte Murray. Anthony Black hasn't developed all that well. 15-9 last season was good, and he's just got to get that shooting up, man. 28%, 24%, 32%. None of those shooting splits are good enough, but I think he's got a really bright point guard future ahead of him. Derek Lively's been producing fairly well for the Mavericks. Statistically, he's whatever, kind of double-double, 10-10, 12-10, 13-11, which is actually better than I would have expected for him. But defensively, he's been an anchor for this team and exactly what Luka Doncic may or may not have needed. Now, they do need a scoring partner. I guess that was supposed to be Kawhi Leonard when they signed him. That did not work out, but Derek Lively, solid. They picked up a shooting guard. Did they get Cason Wallace too? Doesn't look like he's on the team. We'll have to keep looking. Derek Whitehead, not too bad for him. 12 points, 2 rebounds, 22 points, 4 rebounds. He's going to be an interesting prospect because he had all the potential in the world coming out, but then injuries and just inconsistencies, and he fell precipitously in the draft process. Fell to 22, which is only 2 spots ahead of a guy like Cam Whitmore. So big question marks around Derek Whitehead. Any other rookies here? Looking at Noah Clowney. Honestly, the stats aren't too bad. 6-5, but just 73 overall. Hasn't had a chance to earn any minutes. Jarris Walker hasn't developed all that well. The stats are okay. He's kind of stuffing the stat sheet at 14-6, 12-6. Rookie campaign, he gave you 13-6. Shooting splits are serviceable, 32, 38, 38. Just hasn't really developed at all past an 83, which is not great when you're a top 10 pick. Ooh, the Pacers picked up Johnny Davis and Austin Reeves. Grady Dick, statistically good. Overall wise, not good. I mean, his rookie year, he was 15 points a night on 41% from the 3-point line. His 3-point percentage just continues to go up, 19 points, but he's not even an 80 overall. So he's one of those players that's kind of this weird experiment because his tendencies and his splits are good. His ratings are not, so he's not going to get the minutes that he probably should. Jaylen Brown and Scotty Barnes forming a lethal duo out there in Toronto. We've already looked at Amen Thompson, Jeremy Sohan. Jaime Jaquez has been okay, kind of similar to, I want to say, Jarris Walker. Just stuffs the stat sheet, does a lot for the team, but isn't a superstar. He's an 84 overall, which is really impressive. 11 points a night, 10 points a night, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, strong defender. Decent from the 3-point line. His rookie year, he shot 53% and then 30%. And for whatever reason, Miami immediately traded him to the Rockets because they were like, I don't want this 22-year-old on my damn team. Cam Whitmore's been okay, 13 points last season, 19 points so far into this one. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 83 overall, 47-37 splits. Cam Whitmore has the potential, if he stays healthy, to be an incredible player in the league. We just need to see that consistency and hope that just pray that his knees hold up. Cason Wallace made his way over to Thunder. Really good numbers. 87 overall, 15-6, 9-3 last year, 42-32 from the 3-point line. That should be a little bit higher. He was a decent 3-point shooter for Kentucky. Cason Wallace, I don't know how he fits into the Josh Giddey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams dynamic. He might be a little bit not repetitive, but he probably won't fit. Marcus Sasser, also an 82 overall. 7 points for the Detroit Pistons last year. Yeah, the the Thunder do what the Thunder do, and that's finding valuable prospects late or by other teams. Chris Murray is developing decently. He's already 26 overall, which is ridiculous, but 10 points, 18 points into this season, 5. The shooting, I don't know why, but it's 30% for the first 2 seasons that he played. He's a career 35, 36% three-point shooter. His brother already set the rookie record. I feel like Chris Murray needed to get a little bit more respect out of this draft class than what he's getting. Brandon, I don't know how to say. Good numbers. Wow, he's actually putting up really good numbers. 19 points in his second year, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 39% the three-point line. Wow, if Golden State actually gets this kind of contributions from Brandon, holy crap, are they just poised for a long future. And lastly, looking at Bilal Coulibaly, decent, not great when you think about the all upside home run pick that they're taking. 16 points last year, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 46% from the field, 39% from the three-point line. Solid defender, almost 80% for the free throw line. It'll work. It's just, it looks like, wow, they brought in Anthony Davis. It looks like the Wizards are kind of stuck in slightly above mediocrity status again. So they're probably, what, at best a first or second round exit here. Hopefully Bilal Coulibaly transcends and becomes like a 95 overall for them, because they are looking to take off, not just be mediocre. There we have it. Victor Wembanyama wins his first MVP. The year after winning his finals MVP, he has legitimately taken off. 96 overall. And just ever since he came to the league, he's averaged 21 and 10. Now he's averaging 27, 13, 4, 1.5 steals, 3 blocks, 56 from the field, 92% for the free throw line, and a 47% three-point shooter. That is literally unreal. His apparently rookie co-star, Jeffrey Howard, wins Rookie of the Year. Cason Wallace wins Sixth Man of the Year out there for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Victor also wins Defensive Player of the Year. He has just taken over the league. Unreal. Scoot Henderson, though, does make the All-NBA first team for the first time of his career, as Victor Wembanyama is here. Brandon Miller does make the second team along with his running mate, LaMelo Ball. Chet Holmgren here. I don't know why I keep bringing him up. Taylor Hendricks, 88 overall, has made the All-NBA third team. Not too bad. And then defensively, you have the Thompson twins, you have Victor Wembanyama, and you have Derek Lively. This year's draft class is filling up everything. Brandon Miller on the all-defensive second team. He's playing defense now. So is Scoot Henderson. Interesting. This is kind of the prime of these young guys who have come in through this season. This is where they have taken off. They're winning MVPs. They're winning Finals MVPs. They're making the All-NBA teams. It is now for the future of the NBA. Victor, we saw, had an incredible season. We'll take a peek at Scoot Henderson. 26 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists. This is exactly what the Trailblazers are looking for when they took Scoot Henderson, number 3 overall. 54 from the field, 44 from the three-point line. That's just, you can't put anything on that. Cason Wallace, though, was actually pretty good off the bench backup point guard, because it looks like Shea got hurt. He's got a broken right leg, brutal, but Cason Wallace stepped up, gave him 16 and 6. Not too bad for him. Looking at the Rockets, Amen Thompson gave you 17, 5, and 11. This is good. The progression is finally coming. The first 2 seasons were a little bit rough as Amen Thompson got stuck behind Kevin Porter Jr. It looks like he has stepped up and stepped out. Looking at the other Thompson twin, he was 20 points a night. That'll work. 7 rebounds, 6 assists, stuffing the stat sheet on his own. And lastly, Brandon Miller did the scoring jump up at all. Brandon Miller, there you go, back up to 24 and 9, leading the team in scoring. Amari Bailey's getting a lot of minutes. Nick Smith Jr., I'm wondering if he's one of those guys who on his own team could be a 30-point per game scorer, but because there's so much talent already on this team, he's kind of stuck in that 22 to 24 point per night scoring range. Anyway, simulating through the playoffs, I believe we are in year 4, I want to say. So this is when contracts are going to be up, as, wow, Amen Thompson is taking on Brandon Miller for the NBA championship. Victor Wembanyama got swept in the second round. Gentlemen swept, and Brandon Miller wins his finals, but LaMelo Ball wins the NBA Finals MVP over the Thompson twin, number 1. Player retirements, Kevin Durant, who was on the Kings, is retiring. And I guess we might see some of the younger players who aren't very good start to retire at this point. Dwayne Casey's going to be gone. Hall of Fame inductees is KD, Damian Lillard, Kawhi Leonard, and PG-13. And jersey retirements, Dame Time, who has officially cleared the way for Scoot Henderson. So this is where simulation will determine where some of these players go. The CPU does not like to re-sign players at all off their rookie deal. So maybe Victor Wembanyama goes somewhere. maybe Scoot Henderson's going to go somewhere else. And Victor Wembanyama, 97 overall, is back on the Spurs. And let's see what this contract is looking like. It's probably $60 million a year. Wow, not as bad as I thought. 38 million, 42. Last season will be $44 million. And he's up to a 97 overall. That's just ridiculous. We'll look at Scoot Henderson. He's back on a big deal. $50 million in that final season before he's up for another extension. And here we go. Amen Thompson is already not here on the Houston Rockets. He's elected to go somewhere else. And it looks like he went to the Raptors, pair up alongside Scotty Barnes and Jaylen Brown. That's going to be a lethal duo or trio. Didn't get as much money as I kind of thought he should. Ausar Thompson is back on a 4-year deal for the Pistons. How is Brandon Miller looking? Brandon Miller. Anthony Black made his way to the Hornets. Okay, on a 4-year deal. Not too expensive, but that means Brandon Miller is gone. So they won the championship and said, nah, we want Jordan Walsh to take over, who's an 83 overall. Who would have expected that? Jordan Walsh is really lacking in talent, but he has a lot of upside. Taylor Hendricks is leading the way for the Utah Jazz with Kyrie Irving, Lauri Markkanen, and Bryce Sensabaugh. Where is Brandon Miller? Interesting. Made his way to the Suns alongside Jet Howard, also known as Jeff Howard. And Jet Howard is a higher overall than Brandon Miller is. Wow. Put up 20 points per game last season. Brandon Miller, there's so much scoring on this team. You got Kristaps Porzingis holding that at 89. Jet Howard, 89. Brandon Miller, 88. Some guy. Yeah, that's going to be a weird team. The Suns always seem to have weird teams. I mean, even now, they traded away Cliff Paul to get Bradley Beal. That's already weird on its own face. Anyway, we're hopping into the next season and seeing who of the rookies is going to win their first championship. There you have Scoot Henderson winning an MVP, 25, 6, and 10.5 unreal splits. Scoot is looking incredible. Freddie Fields won Rookie of the Year. Anthony Black, 6th Man of the Year on the Hornets. That's right, we saw that. He's behind LaMelo Ball, or replaced Brandon Miller. Terrible decision, but 16, 4, and 9 are pretty good stats. Got his 3-point shooting up to 36%. Victor Wembanyama wins his, 4th Defensive Player in the Year award in a row. Jordan Walsh wins Most Improved. Who would have thought that Jordan Walsh would have arrived? 37% from 3, 18, 7, and 3, 2 steals, 1 block, athletic freak, and now an NBA superstar. King Chauncey is Coach of the Year, and the rest doesn't really matter. So Scoot on the first team with Victor Wembanyama. Second team, Derek Lively made it at an 86 overall. That's weird. Taylor Hendricks made it. Brandon Miller as well. And who else? Jalen Hood-Schifino on the Magic now, a 91 overall. Jarris Walker for the Grizzlies made it. I don't know who this Freddie Fields is. He's probably a #1 overall pick. Seems to be pretty good. All defensive first team is Derek Lively for the Nuggets. I guess he's playing behind Nikola Jokic. Victor Wembanyama. Jordan Walsh. I can't believe Jordan Walsh just came out of nowhere because he was really a big old nothing burger 2nd-round pick who, wow, just statistically almost tripled his production. Ausar Thompson is here. Looks like Amen Thompson did not get a lot. Scoot Henderson, Taylor Hendricks on the all-defensive second team. And we'll take a quick peek at these rookies as it looks like Victor Wembanyama is getting beat out yet again by Scoot Henderson. And it's not like Vic had a bad season. 26, 13, and 3. Maybe they're getting voter fatigue for the MVP, 97 overall. France guy, just they're like, oh, we don't want him. Brandon Miller got up to 25 points per game. That is a career high for him. 8 rebounds. Casey Wallace gave you 18 points. Not too bad. And then, of course, MVP Scoot Henderson with Shaedon Sharpe and Jaime Jaquez up to 17, 6, and 4. The Trailblazers have a really mean-looking team here. Also have Anthony Simons and Jaden Hardy because you can't have enough undersized scorers on their team. Who else do we need to look at? Amen Thompson is gone. Oh, he sprained his ankle. He was gone for a good portion of the season. Decent stats, though. 19, 5, and 11 for him. What did he shoot from 3? 24%. Unacceptable. Horrible. The other Thompson twin gave you 20 points a night. Good, not great. 87 overall. Will work. Shrug your shoulders. Taylor Hendricks gave you 24 and 10. Wow. He's doing unreal. Bryce Sensabaugh gave you a 16. LaMelo Ball. Jordan Walsh just is the story right now of this season. I don't know where he came from, but he's putting up better numbers than Anthony Black is. Simulating through the playoffs, and it looks like Victor Wembanyama is gone. Nope, he made it back to the Western Conference Finals, but now the Clippers with Jason Tatum are taking on Cam Whitmore, who's the Eastern Conference Finals MVP for the Hawks. Really? I didn't expect that from him. He's going to have to take on Jason Tatum. Good luck, young fella. I don't expect you to win, as they do. And Kobe Buffkin wins NBA Finals MVP. He's quietly had a great career as well. First season, nothing. Didn't get any minutes. Second season was okay, and then just steadily has continued to get better and better. And now he is an NBA Finals MVP with his co-star, Cam Whitmore. That is not what you expect when you think about the Atlanta Hawks. You think the DeJounte Murray. You think Trae Young. You don't think Cam Whitmore and Kobe Buffkin, but there it is. Did not expect that, but hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Klay Thompson is going to get his jersey retired, and he certainly belongs in the Hall of Fame. And now we have another year of free agency, reaching the 2028-2029 NBA season in this 20-ish year career simulation for everybody from the 2023 NBA draft. Victor Wembenyama, 24 years old, has reached the age of regression. I don't know why his overall's down. They got Jeffrey Howard, not to be confused with Jeff Howard. Markel Fultz, Kyle Kuzma, Jimmy Poole, Brandon Miller up to an 89 overall. Looks like he's kind of peaked. Darren McLeod has taken over as center for the Thunder, I guess. That's fine. Jalen Green, Karl Towns, Scoot Henderson, 95 overall. Incredible. Where is my guy, Brandon Miller? Did I miss him? Or we already talked about him? Amen Thompson, 88 overall. And Oscar Thompson, 87 overall. So the overalls aren't great. It's kind of Victor and Scoot as far as true superstars out of this draft class, but there's a lot of production from a lot of players. Victor Wembanyama on his second MVP of his career averaged 30 points for the first time of his career, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, almost 3 blocks, 50, 94, 44 splits. He's just a glitch, and he doesn't even get hurt. Like, can I look at his games played? That's my biggest concern when we're talking about Victor Wembanyama is the possible injuries. He's just played 80, 80, 80, 75, 72, 78. He has been the healthiest player in the history of basketball. Sixth man of the year is Jalen Suggs. Victor Wembanyama wins another defensive player of the year. This dude is going to be ridiculous. Coach of the year, the rest of these are not all that interesting. Victor is the only rookie on the All-NBA first team. When I say rookie, I mean rookie from the 2023 draft class. Bilal Coulibaly made the All-NBA second team up to a 90 overall. Looks like he started to kind of reach his potential, especially now that he left Washington. 22 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 46% from 3. Not bad for him. Jarris Walker on the All-NBA second team. Scoot Henderson didn't make the All-NBA first team. Not sure what happened. The stats are unreal, but I guess there was just too many other good superstar point guards, which is really the case in today's NBA. Men Thompson on the All-NBA third team. Anthony Black is here. Brandon Miller, Taylor Hendricks just stuffing the All-NBA teams. Scoot Henderson does make the All-Defensive first team with Oscar Thompson and Victor Wembanyama. Jarris Walker, Amen Thompson, not bad, not bad, not bad at all. These players are just doing well. They're putting up numbers. They're producing. They're changing the NBA. But Victor Wembanyama had an unreal season. This is certainly MVP and possibly Finals MVP to follow. He's got a good supporting cast too. Malachi Branham is hurt, but he'll be coming back. Brandon Miller, 22 points, back into that 22 to 24. I thought he broke out because I really expected him. I remember in one of the rebuilds that we did, he averaged 30 points a game. I thought it'd be better than this. He's not even a 90 overall, and this is really as good as he's going to get. 26 years old, kind of reaches the age of regression around 28, 29. So that's really it for the Brandon Miller experience. Cason Wallace is out 46 weeks, but had a good season, 21-9 for him. And he's replaced Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Wow. Okay, was not expecting that. Scoot Henderson was literally incredible. Probably in MVP consideration, and he made the All-NBA second team. That's a little bit unfair. It looks like Shaedon Sharpe took a step back, but 25, 5, and 9. Could you imagine being a Trailblazer fan and getting this kind of production from your number 3 overall pick? Who else are we looking at? Amen Thompson, 20-10. This is kind of what his career has been at this point. 16-11, 15-10, 19-10. The scoring's up a little bit, 20-10. Overall, though, wow, they got rid of Scotty Barnes, brought in Anthony Davis. Don't know how I feel about that. Who is this? Ryan Anderson? Ron Anderson? Okay. Pistons, Oscar Thompson is okay, 18, 6, and 6. He's kind of taking a step back. It looked like he was going to be better than Amen, and then he just isn't. Who else can we take a peek at before we continue on? I know Taylor Hendricks is basically carrying the Utah Jazz. Not very far, but 25, 10, and 2.5 for him is incredible. Anthony Black has taken over for LaMelo Ball. Yeah, no, get rid of LaMelo Ball. That's the right thing to do. Ben Mathurin. Jordan Walsh took a little bit of a step back. Don't know why my voice went so high there, but down from 18 to 15. Again, not terrible because Jordan Walsh is a second-round pick, so the fact that he's even giving you this production is literally incredible from him. I did not expect that. I don't think anybody expected that. When you watch him play basketball, you go, this guy cannot play basketball. But Victor Wembanyama does get eliminated. Kobe Buffkin, breakout superstar, has won Western Conference Finals MVP, or Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Jason Tatum wins Western Conference Finals MVP. And do we have a rematch? Do we have a rematch of Kobe Buffkin and Cam Whitmore looking to take over the NBA, win their second championship in a row? And they lose to the Clippers. Jason Tatum, NBA Finals MVP. Player retirements. I'll start to pay a little bit more attention to this. Some of the guys are probably going to be on their way out. They're in their late 20s, possibly going into their 30s. So it's just some to look for. Like Dwayne Washington is gone. David Duke Jr., who's only in his, third season as we start this rebuild. Victor Wembanyama looks like 97 overall is going to be the peak of him. So not quite reaching the 99 overall club, but I mean, 97 is still filthy. Brandon Miller stuck at 89. Cason Wallace, 88. This guy, Darren McLeod, has just taken over the Thunder. Scoot Henderson looks like 95 is about as good as he gets. Looking at the, here's a little mellow ball. He's on the Rockets to replace Amen Thompson. Amen, 89. That's about as good as he's going to get. Osar starting to reach the age of regression. 26 years old. He's old as dirt. Who are some of the other guys? Taylor Hendricks. Bilal Coulibaly made his way to the Jazz. Was he on the Jazz already? Yes. Okay. Him and Taylor Hendricks and DeAndre Ayton and Lonzo Ball forming a pretty lethal duo. How many games does Lonzo Ball play, though? Like, let's be real here. He's playing, 10 games? Wow, they have him in the 80s. You fucking wish. Anthony Black, 87. Jordan Walsh, 84. Gigi Jackson made his way up to an 82 overall. That's pretty good to see. He's also really young. He's only 24 years old in the 2029 season. Gigi Jackson has all the potential in the world. I'm surprised he didn't get more draft hype. Victor Wembanyama wins his, I believe, third MVP in his career. We can actually check that. Because in reality, this should be a Victor Wembanyama career sim, but we are watching everything happen. He won that NBA Finals in the 2026 NBA season. 3 MVPs, 6 All-NBA, no, oh God, words. 6 first-team All-NBA awards, 1 on the second All-NBA team, 6 Defensive Player of the Year awards, which is probably the most remarkable, 7 All-Star games. Victor has been incredible. 6th Man of the Year is some guy. Victor does win another Defensive Player of the Year, Darren McLeod. He's not a guy, yeah. Wins that, and we're starting to see that it's just Victor Wembanyama, and that's kind of it as far as being transcendent. And then Scoot and Anthony Black and Taylor Hendricks and Gigi Jackson are a bunch of really good players, but they just don't have the same impact that Victor Wembanyama had. Jarris Walker made his way to the All-NBA third team, and Bilal Coulibaly has actually done pretty good for himself. I was kind of doubting him, but hey, he's here, and I forgot to look at the All-Defensive awards. That's okay. Looking at player stats, we already saw that Victor Wembanyama is incredible because Victor Wembanyama is incredible in simulation. Brandon Miller strained his groin. Oh, poor guy. Does he know Pat McGroin? Only 20 points per game, and Jett Howard actually beat him out in scoring for the Sun squad. I gotta be honest, I'm really disappointed in Brandon Miller's lack of elite production. He's been good, don't get me wrong, but when you're getting a guy with the number 2 overall pick, you want him to be something unique, and that 25 point per game scoring season in his first year with Phoenix was really the only time that he was better than everybody else. The rest has just been like good, not great. Cason Wallace, 17 and 8, pretty good for him. Looking at Scoot Henderson, stats are down a little bit because they brought in Jaden Ivey, because you can never have enough undersized guards if you're the Portland Trailblazers. Oh, good. Of course they did. Not a single forward outside of Jaime Jaquez out here. This is just, it's dumb, okay? 23 and 9 for him. Looking at the Raptors, Amen Thompson gave you 19 and 10. This is about what he's been producing his whole career. Amen, nope. Osar Thompson down a little bit. 16.6 rebounds, 6 assists. Good, not great. We'll take a peek at Taylor Hendricks, who's actually getting beat out by Bilal Coulibaly right now, which is pretty interesting. The Jazz might be contention to win something here. Everybody stays healthy. They got this guy, Ronnie Kane, who's giving you good numbers. I'm just saying. And I didn't look at the Hornets because that is okay. Speaking of the Jazz, they're actually the number 1 seed, as the Spurs are the number 2 seed, going up against what's his face, and Victor Wembanyama is back in the Western Conference Finals taking on Kobe Buffkin. Now, the Hawks, this is their 3rd finals in a row that they've been to. They won the first one against Clippers, lost the second one. Now, is Kobe Buffkin and Cam Whitmore better than Jeffrey Howard and Victor Wembanyama? Gonna be interesting. Wow, Cam Whitmore is off the bench because Brandon Ingram has taken his place, and Jalen Brunson is here, and John Collins, Who knew that John Collins would have stuck around longer than Trae Young, longer than DeJounte Murray, longer than Onyeka Okongwu and Clint Capella? It was all along John Collins' team. And the Hawks win. Kobe Buffkin wins his second NBA Finals in a row, or second in 3. And wow, Victor Wembanyama has officially lost. I thought Vic was going to be in contention for GOAT. At this point, Kobe Buffkin is outproducing him, outperforming him. I believe Jalen Lawson was a second-round pick, so he's one of the first rookies to go. Not seeing any other names that I recognize, but just something to point out. I think I'm going to stop looking at the player progression screens because these players are just kind of holding steady at the overalls that they've had for the longest time. Scoot Henderson's up 1 overall. I mean, that's really it. Nothing to report, nothing of note. Victor wins his 4th MVP. 29 and 14 for him. Some guy. Trae Young, 6th man of the year on the Bulls. Yeah, that doesn't look right. I don't know why, but Trae Young in a Bulls uniform is wrong. Another defensive player of the year. That's his, 8th in a row. Clay Blackman wins most improved, and the rest of these guys, I don't care. LaMelo Ball. Victor Wembanyama is the only All-NBA first team player. I don't know who this Taylor Franklin guy is, but he's new. Number 1 overall pick in the 2028 class. John Morant, Scoot Henderson is here. GG Jackson, only an 83 overall. What kind of stats did he put up, though? 23 and 9. This is exactly what I'm talking about. GG Jackson has the potential to be great. All-NBA third team, Taylor Hendricks. That's it. So a lot less rookies than we're used to seeing. Jordan Walsh on the all-defensive first team. That Hornets squad looks pretty mean. I don't know why they got rid of LaMelo Ball. If they kept him and then had this development from GG Jackson and had that crazy year from Jordan Walsh, they should be winning like 7, 8 championships in a row. NBA all-rookie, second team, you have Amen, you have Scoot, you have Gigi, you have Taylor Hendricks, and you have Darren McLeod, whoever that guy is. We will be taking in a peek after the 10th year of these players, but just doing a quick look at the stats. Victor Wembanyama wins another MVP, 29 points, 14 rebounds is unreal. Brandon Miller tore his Achilles. That hurts. He was having a pretty good season, 24, 6, and 4 for him. Cason Wallace has been good, 18. Who else? These players don't really move around that much. That's my only worry. Like, they just stay where they are. Shaden Sharp, broken leg, but Scoot Henderson, kind of a down year. I guess this is what we expected. That MVP year from Scoot was unreal, 25 and 10. And then he's just kind of hovered around that, but hasn't really excelled beyond that. 22, 6, and 10. It's not like that's bad by any stretch of the imagination, but that's not incredible. Oh my God, Scoot Henderson is the best player in the NBA sort of numbers. Derek Whitehead, how has he been doing for his career? Had an incredible season in Brooklyn, 25 points, but that was really it. 1 year of 20. Kind of a weird career for Derek Whitehead too. Only an 85 overall. Amen Thompson was the leading scorer for the Raptors, who got rid of Scotty Barnes, and now they got rid of, Anthony Davis. They brought in Christian Woods, Corey Woods. I don't know who that is, or Fred Jameson, or Oscar Dennis. But 19, 5, and 10, that's pretty much what he's always been doing. Oscar Thompson down to 16 points, 6 and 6. He's just not producing the same that he used to. Brought in Jaren Jackson Jr. and Jalen Brunson, so I guess Cade Cunningham is soaking up all of his minutes. And we'll take a quick peek at the Taylor Hendricks and Bilal Coulibaly duo. They're just mean together. They got great size, great athleticism. Imagine if you get both of them on the same team producing like this. That is potentially a great duo for a long time coming. GG Jackson, though, I'm impressed with this season. Really good from him. Almost averaged a double-double. Anthony Black has been actually really good. 17, 5, and 11. That's exactly all you can ask for from the Magic. Jordan Walsh, still impressive. Honestly, 86 overall. Did not expect that in the slightest, but we'll see how these playoffs play out. You see what I did there? And actually, Victor Wembanyama beat Bilal Coulibaly and the other guy, Chet Holmgren versus Victor Wembanyama. Is this what the NBA is all about? 7-foot unicorns? Looks like it's really Chet Holmgren and this guy, Perry Young. And is Chet hurt? Oh no, Chet Holmgren is hurt for the NBA Finals. Looks like Victor Wembanyama may be able to win his second Finals MVP, and he does. 2 out of 3, 31 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists for Victor Wembanyama, who has broken the NBA wide open. Anthony Davis has retired. Now, don't quote me on this, but I think this is where some of the players' contracts are up. Looking at Victor, he's back, and the contracts are broken in year 31, or age 31 season. I love that. 2K, greatest game ever. Who else is gone? So Brandon Miller, oh, he's still hurt with that Achilles, but he re-signed to a 5-year deal. That makes sense. Jeremy Sohan made his way to the Suns. Interesting. Looks like Jet Howard, though, is gone. Cason Wallace, 2 years left on his deal. Keegan Murray, not to be confused with Chris Murray. Who else? Scoot Henderson, looks like he's got 1 more year left on his deal. Derek Whitehead has 1 more year left. So next season, there are probably going to be a lot of movement for these rookies that are now in their, 8th, possibly 7th season. Who else can I look at? Pressing the wrong buttons. I'm sorry. Kristaps Porzingis is 36 years old and still playing. What? Kobe Buffkin has 1 year left on his deal, but it looks like Cam Whitmore has already moved on, which is I bet why the Hawks aren't producing as well as they could have been. Who else? Cam Whitmore, he's on the Hornets. Why does the Hornets have half of the rookies that came out? He's got 1 year on his deal. Jordan Walsh got 2 years on his deal. GG Jackson 1 year. And no Anthony Black, because why would you want a point guard when you can have 7 wing players? Bilal Coulibaly has 1 year on his deal. Taylor Hendricks has a 5-year deal where he's getting $60 million in 2035. And they have Ben Simmons, who's a 79 overall. Do you believe in miracles? Anthony Black made his way to the Knicks. He's kind of had a weird career. He started with the Magic, and this is before you can even jump around. He started with the Magic, went to the Hornets. Now he's on the Knicks. He's like, enough of these damn small market teams. I want my money. Pay me now. Victor wins another MVP. Christopher Hopkins. Huh. Amen Thompson wins 6th Man of the Year on the Raptors. I wonder who he's behind, but 17, 9, and 5 is pretty good for him. Darren McLeod, defense. Somebody not named Victor Wembenyama? One Defensive Player of the Year. Do we override this? Wow. Okay, he wins MVP, but he's not a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Earl Watson, everybody else doesn't really matter, but Victor Wembanyama has been ousted as the best defensive player in the NBA at age 28. Jarris Walker made the All-NBA second team. Scoot Henderson did as well. Amen Thompson, Bilal Coulibaly, and Taylor Hendricks just forming that lethal duo out there in Utah. They've got a bright future ahead of them. Victor is on the All-Defensive first team, but man, can you believe he has been beat? Amen Thompson and Scoot Henderson all on the All-Defensive first team. Jordan Walsh, Taylor Hendricks, Jarris Walker on the All-Defensive second team. I cannot believe that actually happened. Victor Wembanyama is not the Defensive Player of the Year. Wow. I don't even know what to expect. I will be looking at the player stats right here. Victor, MVP season, but woof, only 2.5 blocks, 1.4 steals. Disappointing, to say the least. Non-domain. Looking at the Suns, Brandon Miller, just again, really in line with what he's been doing. Finally reached 90 overall, but 23 and 9 for him. Cason Wallace, Scoot Henderson, again, more of the same. This is kind of about as good as these players get. I don't think there's going to be any dramatic jumps as far as their overalls are concerned. I'm surprised that Jalen Hood-Schifino, first of all, beat out Amen Thompson. Second of all, outproduced Amen Thompson. What happened? He's a 92 overall. He just quietly has had an incredible career. Excuse me? I guess he went over to the Magic and just was incredible and then said, you know what? F*** Amen Thompson. I'm going to take his place as the starting point guard for the Toronto Raptors and outproduce him in every statistical category. Okay, Jalen. Good for you, man. Oscar Thompson, just more of the same for him. Who else can we look at? We'll check out the Jazz Twins. I kind of like that they've been sticking around and just producing 20 point per game seasons like nonstop. They're just really solid wing players. If they could get a good point guard and center combination going here, this team is lethal. But Taylor Hendricks and Bilal Coulibaly, 20 and 9, 20 and 6, just really mean together. But let's see how these playoffs perform. Our players have reached their peak. This is their time to shine. And it looks like Victor Wembanyama gets eliminated. John Morant wins Western Conference Finals MVP. Paolo Banchero wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And it's not any of the rookies, I think, in this year's draft class fighting. You got Jalen Green. You got Paolo Banchero. You got Ben Mathurin. You got, there it is, Jarris Walker. He qualifies second best player in the Grizzlies. And Jarris Walker helps John Morant wins his first Finals MVP. So Jarris Walker, supporting cast, Giannis retiring, Kristaps Porzingis, Tyus Jones. So he doesn't win Finals MVP, but he did directly contribute to winning that championship. So take that for what you will. As we look through the Hall of Fame inductees, no surprises, Giannis going into the Hall of Fame, gonna get his jersey retired by the Bucks, as apparently he left after 15 seasons. Victor wins another MVP. At this point, the NBA is the Victor Wembanyama, the National Basketball of Victor Wembanyama Association. 28, 14, 4, 1.4 steals, 3 blocks, 52, 97, 42 from 3. Ulf Eklund. Rookie of the Year, 6-man Ray Cole, Darren McLeod, Darren McLeod once again ousts Victor Wembanyama's Defensive Player of the Year. Most improved is nobody that we know. All-NBA first team, Scoot, left hand fracture. That hurts, but he made the All-NBA first team, so he had a good year. So did Victor. So did Taylor Hendricks. This Darren McLeod guy, though, is a beast. Good Lord. LaMelo Ball, Darius Garland. Brandon Miller does make the All-NBA second team finally. Only 21 points this season, though. Huh. I wonder what happened. Dave Howard is there. Nobody on the All-NBA third team from our rookie squad. That's interesting. Scoot Amen and Victor Wembanyama on the All-Defensive first team still, while they're 29 and 30 years old, respectively. Jordan Walsh still continuing his incredible career on the All-Defensive second team. So was Taylor Hendricks and Jarris Walker. Taking a look at some of the stats, and I believe next year will be the officially 10th year of these players playing basketball in the NBA. Victor was incredible, as you saw. He did win MVP for a reason. Brandon Miller, a little bit down. I think the rest of the NBA, when 2K simulation goes on for too long, the rest of the NBA starts to suck really bad. I think we're starting to reach that point. At the same time, though, Brandon Miller, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 3.5 assists. Good, not great. Trae Young is on the Thunder. Cason Wallace, I guess, is backup point guard now. 18 and 8 is pretty good behind 18 and 7. So I don't know how they're doing that lineup at all. Chris Teague has a massive, what's it called? Mustache. That's the word. Ooh, Nick Smith, up to an 80 overall. Kind of disappointing career. Looks like he had one season where he hit 15 points a game, but the rest has just been not great. And of course, we saw Scoot Henderson is out with injury. Where am I looking? Is Scoot Henderson not on the team? Where is Scoot Henderson? Is he on the Rockets? What happened? Scoot Henderson is a Rocket? Did they trade him? Am I crazy? This didn't happen. When? Well, apparently Scoot Henderson is now on the Rockets alongside Jabari Smith Jr. Huh. 23, a little bit down, 5 and 9, broken hand. But now he's leading the way for the Houston squad. Did not expect that. Jalen Hood-Schifino is still ousting Amen Thompson as the starting point guard for the Raptors. No idea why they decided to do this move, but it is what it is. Jaylen Brown, Brandon Posness. I would say bring Brandon in off the bench. Move Jaylen Brown to the 3, play Amen Thompson at the 2, and Jalen Hood-Schifino at the 1. I guess this is a really bad roster construction. All-Star Thompson, not bad. I think this is actually up. Nope, it's down. 15, 5, and 6 for him. Our players are starting to regress a little bit. Anthony Black, starting point guard for the Knicks, 16 and 10, pretty good. And of course, our twins, the 23 point per game scoring twins, Taylor Hendricks, Bilal Coulibaly. I hope they win a championship because they seem to always put up really good numbers statistically, be a lethal duo, but they're kind of like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And Jalen Duren wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Victor Wembanyama wins Western Conference Finals MVP. Looks like they got ousted by the Kings in the second round. Unfortunate for Bilal Coulibaly and as Victor Wembanyama wins another NBA Finals MVP. Like I said, the NBA is Victor's as Nikola Jokic does retire after God knows how many seasons. Starting to see some names that I recognize. Jalen Wilson is gone. Mohamed Gouye is gone. Renamed to Mohamed Guy. Why? I don't know. Adam Sanogo, I believe he was undrafted, but came in. Andre Jackson Jr., second round pick out of Connecticut. Athletic freak. Probably not going to do much. Musa Diabate, I believe the center out of Michigan. He's gone. So we're starting to see some players from the 2023 NBA draft class finally retire. Pablo Prioni has retired. Hall of Fame inductees is Joker and Donovan Mitchell, and they're going to get their jersey retired respectively. Donovan Mitchell not going to get his jersey retired for the Flume Flumes. The Jazz, that's the word I was looking for. The Utah Jazz do not love Donovan Mitchell. That hurts to hurt. Looking at player progression, and Victor Wembanyama, 98 overall. Malachi Branham, 85. Not a lot of good players. Brandon Miller, 89 overall. Darren McLeod reached the age of regression. He's 26 years old, so it makes a lot of sense. Victor Wembanyama wins another MVP. Some guy is rookie. Jalen Hood-Schifino, 6th man of the year behind Amen Thompson. Why? Chet Holmgren, defensive player of the year. Most improved is Greg Sims and whatever. I'm going to start speeding through this a little bit more because we're starting to get to that point where these players are reaching their peaks, and then they're going to start to go on the other side of 40. Victor Wembanyama wins another Western Conference Finals MVP, taking on the New York Knicks. And that was Anthony Black, Brandon Ingram. How many teams has Brandon Ingram been on? He's been on the Lakers, the Pelicans, the Hawks, and the Knicks. Only 4. So I'm being dramatic. Yeah, we're starting to reach that point where we're going to grind through seasons now. We're almost 10 seasons in as Victor Wembanyama wins another NBA Finals MVP. How many is that now? Too many to count because Victor is God. And we're seeing guys like Miles and Mikal Bridges retire. So young players in today's NBA are starting to reach that point. Mo Bamba. I haven't seen too many players from our draft class just yet. Sidi Sissoko did retire and not too much else. But like I said, we're starting to get to the point where we just grind it out. I think Victor Wembanyama is going to be the final retiree as Jaylen Brown does go into the Hall of Fame. For maybe Scoot Henderson might compete to last longer in the NBA than Victor Wembanyama does, but the guy who created the roster made Victor Wembanyama God. So I expect around the 2040 season is going to be the last year. So we'll just kind of grind through, watch a couple more Finals MVPs, and we'll see how Victor Wembanyama ranks in the annals of history. 98 overall, unreal. Victor wins another MVP. Some guy wins Rookie of the Year. Henry Mayer is Sixth Man of the Year. Victor wins Defensive Player of the Year. Again, reclaimed his title. And then the rest of these guys we don't really know. Scoot on the first team. Victor on the first team as well. I don't know who Larry Griffith is, but he's a 94 overall. Looking like a good young player out there for the New York Knickerbockers. Cason Wallace to the Heat, 90 overall. Brandon Miller, 91. Taylor Hendricks. And then on the third team is nobody. Defensively, you got Scoot and Vic. Second team, you got the Thompson twins, Taylor Hendricks. But yeah, this Larry Griffith guy might be the next voice, the next generation of the NBA. 6'10", power forward, 28 and 11. And he's bullying our poor boy, Victor Wembanyama. And like I said, just grinding it out. We won't look at the stats just yet. It is what it is, as it looks like the finals are going to be Victor Wembanyama, yet again, no surprise, 90 overall, versus Larry Griffith. This is exactly who I was talking about. Who's the true master of the NBA? Who's the true superpower? Is it the Knicks or the Spurs? And, ooh, it went to 7, but Victor Wembanyama does prevail. Stats a little bit down, but he beat Larry Griffith, whatever that dude's damn name was, to be the true best player in the NBA. He's still saying, I'm better than you, son. I'm better than you, coach. And are there any big notable names here? Marcus Sasser is gone. He actually had a decent career out there for Oklahoma City. Had that like 16, 15 points per game. Not bad for him. Christian Coloco, Kai Jones, Imoni Bates. Did he ever amount to anything? 14 points, 13 points. Not bad. Just not, a guy who was supposed to be the number 1 or number 2 overall pick in the NBA draft just a few seasons ago. Not seeing any other notable names. Staff retirements. Got Coach Bud. Dylan Murphy. Hall of Fame inductees is Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, and Trae Young, and going to get their jerseys retired. Scoot Henderson wins MVP. 29.2, 6.9 nice, and 10.5 assists. This is his best year ever. Wow. For the Rockets. Was not expecting that. Drew Weddington, Rookie of the Year. Irving Isley, Sixth Man of the Year. Victor Wembanyama back to winning Defensive Player of the Year. A little bit down. Being honest, 26, 12, and 4. Not that it was a bad season, but he's not quite the same guy. I don't even think that the Spurs made the playoffs. Victor, though, on the All-NBA first team. Larry Griffith just continuing to beast and feast. Amen Thompson made his way back to the All-NBA first team. Good to see his career revitalized. And Brandon Miller still in the All-NBA second team. Just steady, doing what he does best. Anybody else? Bilal Coulibaly made it. Looking at the defense, still Scoot Henderson at age 32. He's just relentless. Amen Thompson is here. Victor Wembanyama is here. And then Larry Griffith and Chet Holmgren, respectively. Jarris Walker, down to an 87 overall, made the all-defensive second team. And I guess we'll hop in and take a quick peek at some of these stats. We're about 11 years into these players' careers. Victor Wembanyama has been incredible. No surprises. Ever since he got drafted, he's just been a walking double-double Defensive Player of the Year. Best player in the NBA candidate. Brandon Miller has been down a little bit. Not ideal. He's been kind of bouncing around between 22 and 18, I guess, the last few seasons. Kobe Buffkin made his way to Phoenix after Sacramento, after Atlanta. He's had a weird career of his own. Like, he's good, but not great, but then won a couple of championships and was NBA Finals MVP twice. Like, what? Why? Looks like Anthony Black is now on the Thunder, replacing Cason Wallace as Keegan, not Chris Murray. He's been kind of similar, just weird, really consistent, really steady, but nothing remarkable. Looks like Dariq Whitehead is carrying the Golden State Warriors this year, 20 points per game from him. I don't know what to make of his career. I really don't. The overalls department isn't great, but statistically, he's been good. So, like, what? course, the Wizards have blown every single opportunity of having a good player on their team because they are the Wizards. And looking at some of these other teams, Jet Howard starting to go down in production, not tremendously. Still gave you 18 points. He was in Milwaukee last year, 24 points. Jet Howard has had a pretty interesting career of his own. Jarris Walker has been actually really impressive. Helped lead Ja Morant to that one NBA Finals MVP. So he's won a chip. He's got a pretty... That's all you can ask for with the number 8 overall pick is a championship. This Hawk squad is always a little funny. Casey Wallace made his way to the Heat, and that makes a lot of sense to me. He's got a chip on his shoulder. Bryce Sensabaugh, this whole Hornet squad has been hilarious. Evan Mobley's on the team now. Jordan Walsh, I mean, I don't even know what to make of his career. He's been weird and wild, and that's kind of makes a lot of sense. Bilal Coulibaly and Taylor Hendricks, they've been the real Thompson twins here. Keontae George, has he stayed in Utah? No, he went to Brooklyn. He just made his way back to the team. That's kind of nice, you know, kind of romantic. Larry Griffith going to be the new face of the NBA, but Jalen Hood-Schifino has balled out. Why? How? I don't know. He just has. He's been really good wherever he goes. Cam Whitmore really stepped up too. In Houston, it was like, oh no, is he going to be a bust? And then he just balled the hell out. 90 overall, 20 points per game for Atlanta. One season in Charlotte for 23, and then Denver 23. Wow. He's kind of come on later on in his career. One of those players that is a late bloomer. Anyway, we'll be hopping in, watching how everybody plays out, and it looks like Victor Wembanyama is once again going back to the finals. 99 overall to take on Dylan Simmons and the Celtics. Maybe how many championships has Victor won at this point? Let's do a quick awards ceremony check because this is Victor Wembanyama's NBA and we're all just living in it. Here we go. Here, 5-time NBA champion, 5-time NBA Finals MVP. Did lose one, which Michael Jordan is 6-0 in the finals with 6 NBA Finals MVP. Just saying. 8 MVPs, 12 first-team All-NBAs. Victor Wembanyama has had one hell of a career, and he's won another NBA Finals MVP. Do you believe it? Brandon Ingram is gone. Luka Doncic is gone. Kevin Porter Jr., DeAndre Ayton, Chris Murray. Okay, here's one of the first retirees. Chris Murray, 23 overall pick, 2-time NBA champion with the Spurs, has officially called it quits. Had a decent career, nothing too remarkable. In Indiana, Oklahoma City was solid. Gave really good years to Portland in the final 2 seasons of his contract, then bounced around the league a little bit. It's like Jaime Jaquez Jr. is out. He's just a little bit older, so he flamed out faster than he would have expected for Houston because he immediately got traded away from Miami. Had some good seasons in Houston and Portland, and then just kind of regressed hard. Maxwell Lewis was okay. He's on the Lakers, right? Had some good seasons and then flamed out for as well. Had a really rough last season. I don't know if he got hurt or something. And that is all the notable names I see of this year's draft class, but this is where it's time to start getting ready for players to retire. Same thing as Mike Longobardi. Not Mike Lombardi, Mike Longobardi. Luka Doncic, Brandon Ingram, Bam Adebayo, and De'Aaron Fox going to the Hall of Fame. Gonna get their jersey retired as well. Somebody was missing from that list. It's okay. And we're heading into the 2037 season now. So that'll be 13 years of NBA basketball. Victor Wembanyama is still the best player in the NBA, still announcing his presence to the world and still in competition in that GOAT conversation. Not even close to reaching the age of regression. 99 overall. Filthy. Victor wins another MVP, and it looks like as soon as we thought he was going to start regressing, he just turned his career around. I don't know any of these other players. Once again, defensive player there, Ernest Bias, Quinn Snyder, Justin Taylor, Scoot Henderson on the Lakers. 4-year, $214 million deal. All NBA first team. Larry Griffith, though, is coming for Victor Wembanyama. Got to keep that in mind. I don't know who this JT Blair is. He's only an 82 overall. Amen Thompson holding steady. Brandon Miller down to an 89 overall on the All-NBA second team. And I don't think anybody here was from our draft class. Scoot Henderson and Victor on the All-NBA first team still. They're just going 1 and 2. Amen Thompson, Taylor Hendricks, Jarris Walker on the all-defensive second team. And it looks like the Lakers are the number 1 seed, with the Spurs as the number 2 seed. Going to be interesting to see if they meet in the Western Conference Finals. It looks like they do. And it looks like my guy, Scoot Henderson, has ousted Victor Wembanyama to go to the NBA Finals, see if he can win, I believe, his second championship. We look at Scoot, look at his career stats. He's had a hell of a career of his own. MVP, 12-time All-Star, has not won a championship yet. Okay, well, this is going to be your time, Scoot, to take on the Philadelphia 76ers, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Not a lot of great players around them. Let's see what you're able to do, and he gets 4-0'd. Scoot Henderson, NBA Finals MVP, first time in his career, saying, I'm better than you, Vic. Jason Tatum is retiring. Tyrese Halliburton retiring. Leonard Miller was a big name throughout this draft process. Kind of went in between 35 and 10, depending on who you were talking to as far as the mock drafts were concerned. Not a great career from him. Just kind of a quiet, 13 and 8, 12 and 7. Everywhere he went, bounced around a lot. Not too much to say about Leonard Miller's career, unfortunately. And I'm not seeing any other notable names here from our draft class. So we're just going to keep on keeping on, seeing how Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson are taking over the NBA. Hall of Fame inductees is Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton, going to get their jerseys retired or respectively. I can't believe Jason Tatum was a Clipper and won some championships there. It's kind of weird to think about, but it definitely is a thing that could happen. I mean, everybody goes to different teams. It's just so funny to think 10 years from now we'll be like, do you believe that Kevin Durant was on the Brooklyn Nets and the Phoenix Suns? Looking at player progression, Victor Wembanyama refuses to regress. Kobe Buffkin down to an 88. Where is Scoot? I think he's regressing, but he's on the Lakers now. Because who isn't? Down to a 92 overall, so he's starting to reach the age of regression. I wish these creative players would freaking develop. I don't know what it takes to get them to jump in overalls, but they're just refusing to get good at basketball. Victor wins another MVP, and it just seems like he's getting better at age 34, not worse. I don't know what to do with that. Todd Lyles, Irving Isley, Victor Wembanyama wins another Defensive Player of the Year. Brian Mayer, don't know who any of these damn players are. Scoot Henderson, though, still on the All-NBA first team, so is Victor. But that's it. The rest of these guys are user or fake draft class. Taylor Hendricks on the All-NBA second team, still an 86 overall. Looks like LaMelo Ball and Cade Cunningham. Wow, Cade's still a 91 overall at age 36, doing well. Bilal Coulibaly is here. All defensive first team is still Scoot and Victor and Taylor Hendricks. Amen Thompson on the second team with Jarris Walker, who's on the Suns now, 34 years old, 84 overall. And like I said, just grinding through this. We're going to simulate through the playoffs. Looks like the Lakers are now the 4 seed and the Spurs are meeting. And this time, Victor gets his revenge now to take on the Pistons. Who is on this Pistons squad? Do we know anybody? Cade Cunningham still here for his whole career. Oscar Thompson down to a 79 overall. Wow. Yeah, regression has kind of reached him quickly. He was scoring 17 points a game for like his whole career, and now he's down to 11 this season. Okay, Peter Holmes. Don't know who any of these are. I'm sure Victor Wembanyama is going to win another NBA Finals MVP, which he does. Victor is just God, and we all have to get used to that. Darius Garland, Isaiah Stewart, Zion Williamson, retiring. So let's see. He was in Utah, did not get a lot of opportunity, was okay in Brooklyn, went back to Utah, not really good of a career. Honestly, had a Grady Dick too. He kind of fell off too. He was started strong, but like I said, the numbers and the output and the production didn't match his overall. So then he went to a couple other teams and just did not get minutes, and now is retired. 68 overall after 10 years in the NBA. Anybody else? Kennedy Chandler, he's not a rookie. Ty Washington, Peyton Watson. Yeah, the rest of these guys I don't really know all that well, but interesting. Grady Dick, I kind of expected a little bit more from him. Staff retirements are a bunch of guys that we don't really care about. Looking at the Hall of Fame inductees, it is Ja Morant, it is Darius Garland, it is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and it is Zion Williamson. So we're about maybe 2-3 years away from some of our guys starting to retire. A lot of jerseys getting retired. A lot of players going into the Hall of Fame. We'll see where Victor and Scoot ultimately end up. Another MVP for Victor, but the stats are starting to fall. I saw he reached the age of regression. He went down to a 98 overall, playing up to a 99 right now. But you can see he's starting to go. Age 35, that makes a lot of sense. Shane Sharp, rookie. Pavlo Kiba, six-man defense player there, is still Victor Wembanyama. And let's see how these All-NBA teams look. It's only Victor Wembanyama left on the All-NBA first team. Second team is nobody. Third team, Scoot Henderson, still here, still a 90 overall, but he's reaching the age of regression too. And they do make the All-NBA first team defensively. Amen Thompson on the second team. Evan Mobley's still here, by the way, age 37. You love to see that. But like I said, we're starting to reach the point where these players are falling off like flies. Like Scoot Henderson is the 8 seed, and he gets eliminated. But Victor Wembanyama still going to the finals, still taking his team, kicking and screaming as a 99 overall because there's not a lot of other good players. There's not even a 90 on this Celtics squad, so I expect Victor Wembanyama to win another NBA Finals MVP, which he does. But this is the time for players to resign, for them to retire, like Jaden Ivey. Jet Howard does retire. Okay, last year he only played, what kind of minutes was this? He probably played like 10 minutes a night, 0.5 points per game, 0.2 assists. Had a really good career though. Got into the low 20s, almost mid 20s. Orlando started slow, but Phoenix, I mean, look at this jump. 8.4 points to 16 points to 20 to 24 points per night scoring. That's more than I expected from Jet Howard. I kind of see him more as a 3-and-D prospect, but heck of a career for him. And he must have won a good number of championships with the Spurs with Victor Wembanyama, 2038 and 2039 seasons, respectively. Anthony Black retiring, had a pretty solid career. If you look at his assists, those were strong. 9 and 4, 10 and 5, and then the third year jump, 16 and 9, 14 and 9, 16 and 9, 19 and 12, 17 and 12, 17 and 11. And then New York started to fade a little bit. And then in OKC is where he fell off. And it's time for him to retire. Bryce Sensabaugh is gone. Had some good seasons, 20 points per game. You can't frown on that. Jeremy Sohan, Jordan Walsh. What a career this guy had. He just broke out of nowhere. He was like a 60-something overall, scoring 7 points a night, and then bam. By the way, I score 18 points a night on high efficiency. What? Nick Smith Jr. is gone. He was one of the more disappointing players in this simulation. Had one season of 14.9 points per game, but other than that, struggled to even get into the teens. It was a little unfortunate. I think he had to deal with a lot of injuries, so that's probably what held him back. Anybody else of note? I don't think there's going to be any, Hall of Famers coming out of them just yet. But the guys like Scoot Henderson are going to be retiring soon. The guys like Taylor Hendricks and Bilal Coulibaly are going to be retiring soon. They'll definitely get into the Hall of Fame. And it looks like Freddie Craig, guy got drafted in the next season, is going into the Hall of Fame. Jersey retirements: Jonathan Kuminga, Chet Holmgren, Oscar Thompson. Oscar retired? How did I not see that? Are you sure, game? Are you sure? Oh God, the screen is broken. What is happening? Are these all the players that have retired ever? Well, there it is. Oscar Thompson has retired. The number 5 overall pick spent his whole career in Detroit and was really strong. 12, 11, 16, one season of 20 point per game scoring, but he stuffed the stat sheet pretty well. 16 and 6, 16 and 6, just a really steady player. Not a bad season for Oscar Thompson. Not a Hall of Famer, but it looks like Detroit loved him enough to retire his jersey, and he's the first of the notable rookies to go. And no longer winning MVPs, Matthew Walton is the new face of the NBA, age 23. He has taken over for Victor Wembanyama, and Victor does win Defensive Player of the Year. Numbers are still incredible, but not an MVP according to this. Interesting. Victor, he got hurt too. Torn hamstring. That probably contributed a little bit. Is the only All-NBA first player, nobody on the second team. Scoot Henderson does make the third team now, an 88 overall, 36 years old. Victor on the All-Defensive first team. Amen on the Nets on the All-Defensive second team. And that is it. These players are starting to fall off, and we are starting to reach the final stages of this simulation as Victor Wembanyama doesn't even make it out of the first round. And a whole bunch of players that we don't know are now in the NBA Finals. The NBA is in good hands, no longer being held up by Victor Wembanyama. LaMelo Ball is gone. Shaedon Sharpe, Ben Mathurin is gone. Cason Wallace is gone. 76 overall. Had a hell of a career, if we're being honest. Did not expect that kind of production. 21 points and 9 assists. 20 points and 7 assists for OKC. Went to Miami, scored 22 and 8. He had a really solid, strong career. Didn't get to that next level, transcendent, but he was good. GG Jackson produced incredibly well for a second round pick. Really struggled in Memphis. We didn't know if he was going to turn into anything, and then he just took off. Brandon Miller, one of the more disappointing players of this draft class. The number 2 overall pick was steady. Don't get me wrong, but he wasn't incredible. He had an incredible rookie season, 24 and 8, and then that was it. 1 year, 25 point per game, scoring for Phoenix. That was it. I mean, his career accolades kind of reflect that. He was just okay. One-time NBA champion, that'll work in 2027. 8-time All-Star, that's like pretty good. 6-time second team All-NBA, didn't even make the first team All-NBA. Like, I don't know, he was just okay. Jarris Walker, even you could argue, had maybe a better career. Nah, you can't argue that, but Jarris Walker was equally as important, won a championship with Ja Morant. kind of bizarre. Derek Lively had a bunch of those defensive and all defensive first teams backing up Nikola Jokic for a season, played with Luka Doncic for a while. He had a pretty solid career, number 12 overall pick. Nikola Jovic. Brandon Podziemski was okay. Started off really strong for Golden State, but then kind of fell off after that 24 point per game season that he had. I mean, I don't know. He was okay. Didn't win any notable awards, but he was definitely important and was a pretty good basketball player in his own rights. Anybody else of note? We're kind of just waiting now for Scoot Henderson and Amen Thompson and what's his face, Victor Wembanyama to retire. After that, I mean, that's it. That's all the rookies. We're in the year 2040. Brandon Miller is going into the Hall of Fame though, number 23, 21 points per game scoring average his entire career, 7.5 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, no MVPs, 8 All-Star games. I mean, you look at some of the competition. Cade Cunningham had 8. Okay, Evan Mobley had 16. LaMelo Ball had 16. Jarris Walker, I don't know if Jarris Walker is a Hall of Famer. I don't know if I can agree with that, but you know, this is 2K23. They're deciding what is and what does. And Dyson Daniels, Jarris Walker gonna get his jersey retired by Memphis. Brandon Miller gonna get his jersey retired by the Phoenix Suns. Carl Daniels wins MVP. Rookie of the Year is somebody. Sixth Man of the Year is somebody. Defense Player of the Year is not Victor Wembanyama. I think all of our players are officially on their way out. Victor doesn't even make the All-NBA first team. Doesn't make the second team. He is on the All-NBA third team, down to a 92 overall. Scoot Henderson does make the All-Defensive first team at a million years old. And then the rest is a whole bunch of old-ass men that are probably going to be retiring soon. Scoot is the first seed, and they get 1-aided. And it looks like Victor Wembanyama does somehow find his way back in the NBA Finals, taking on the Celtics yet again. Is this Celtics squad any better? Or is Victor Wembanyama and Boris Smith going to carry the Spurs to like their 8th championship? And they do. Victor Wembanyama wins yet another Finals MVP. Anthony Edwards is gone. Taylor Hendricks has retired. 9-time All-Star, 1-time first-team All-NBA. Was not able to win a championship with that Bilal Coulibaly-Taylor Hendricks duo. But he was good, man. He was just a really steady 24 and 10 every single night from the power forward position. Great shooting splits. Taylor Hendricks had a hell of a career. I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. Amen Thompson, same thing. He's retiring. Just had a strong career. Kind of fought and struggled with Ken Porter Jr. in Houston. And then in Toronto, fought and struggled against Jalen Hood-Schifino. And then went to Brooklyn, I guess. Cam Whitmore is gone. He was really up and down in this one. 20, 17, 15, 20. Almost didn't even break it into the NBA before he went to Atlanta and Charlotte and Denver and really balled out. He had a weird career. Jalen Hood-Schifino got stuck, basically paired up alongside Amen Thompson. That really held him back. But he put up really good numbers throughout his whole career. If this is what the Lakers are getting, that's great. Kobe Buffkin, 3-time NBA Finals appearances, 2-time champion alongside Cam Whitmore. Weird career that Kobe Buffkin had. Dariq Whitehead is out of the league. He had another weird one. He was up and down. Had that 25-point per game season in 2027. And you're like, all right, Dariq Whitehead gonna take off. And then he was just kind of solid. Not great, not terrible. Jet Howard. Nope, this is Jeffrey Howard. Not to be confused with Jeff Howard. And that's all I can see from here, which means Scoot and Victor are still refusing to retire. But Taylor Hendricks is a Hall of Famer. So is Amen Thompson. And so is, no surprise, Kobe Buffkin. Matthew Walton wins MVP. Kostas Papadopoulos wins Rookie of the Year. Stevie Lane, 6th Man of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year is Matthew Walton, blah, blah, blah. Do we see anybody with names that we recognize? No, 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 no. No. Defensively, no. And no. So everybody's officially off of the list, which means we'll just simulate through the playoffs. The Spurs don't even make it out of the play-in tournament. I think Scoot Henderson is still on the Lakers. He might have a chance of winning a championship, which he does. 83 overall. Western Conference Finals MVP. He's playing 28 minutes a night because he's so old. Lakers, Cavs, and Gus Temple wins NBA Finals MVP. That's weird. Going into player retirements, here's Bilal Coulibaly. He's gone. Had a heck of a career. Started a little bit slow in Washington, but really as soon as he got out from Washington, his career took off for the Jazz. Had that fun duo alongside Taylor Hendricks for the longest time. Who else do we really recognize here? Not a lot. But I don't see our guys Victor Wembenyama or Scoot Henderson. Scoot probably not going to retire because he did win a championship, and I would not retire. If I win a championship, I will just keep going. They got to tear the jersey off my back. Darren McLeod, who is not part of our draft class, and Bilal Coulibaly is going into the Hall of Fame. Never won that championship that he was looking for, I don't think, but made a lot of All-Star games, was really impressive alongside Taylor Hendricks, and he's probably going to get his jersey retired by the Utah Jazz for his good, strong 9 years of service. One more season officially in year 20. I think Victor Wembanyama is in the 80s. As you saw, Scoot Henderson is an 83 overall. These players are getting ready to retire. They got gray hair in their pubes. Victor is down to an 84 overall. Nobody that we know won any awards. We're just on retirement watch at this point. Anybody here? No. Ooh, Victor Wembanyama makes the all-defensive first team still. 86 overall at 39 years old. He's pulling a LeBron James, but I don't expect him to go very far in his career. And it looks like the Lakers got 1-8 again, which means Scoot Henderson should probably retire. Don't know any of these names. The Oklahoma City Thunder win a championship. And let's see player retirements. Here it is. Scoot Henderson and Victor Wembanyama retiring at the same damn time. So there you have it. The final two guys. Looks like Scoot tore his ACL to end his career. That hurts. And then Victor is just old. So we'll check out some of their stats. Check out some of their records. No surprises. Both of them going 1 and 3 respect. Going into the Hall of Fame. Games played. Scoot actually played more than Victor, but Victor obviously had the better stats. 26.4 to 22.6. 12.6 rebounds to 5.1. But the assist department, Scoot Henderson, mighty impressive. 3.8 to 8.7. Steals goes to Scoot. Blocks obviously goes to Victor Wembanyama. But Victor had 11 MVPs in his career. That is unreal. Scoot did have 2, 18 All-Stars to 16, and then 13 Defensive Player of the Years. I think Victor Wembanyama is the GOAT. 9-time champion, 9-time Finals MVP, 16 All-NBA first teams. Wow, what a career. And obviously the jersey is going to get retired for Victor. He stayed his whole career for 20 years with the Spurs, while Scoot went to the Lakers and the Rockets and the Blazers. And let's just, for last sake, go ahead and take a look at some of these stats and league records that they put up. I'm stuck in simulation. I can't move off this screen. This is it. Okay. Oh, there we go. I can actually play. Thank you so much. Checking out some of these league history awards. So NBA records. Points did not go to anybody yet. 3-pointers, not seen anybody, but that's just in a single game. MVP awards, I mean, it's pretty clear that Victor Wembanyama was good. Scoot Henderson like threw his hat in the ring a few times, but it was Victor Wembanyama's league, and we were all just living in it. Rookie of the year, not important, but sixth man of the year, Jalen Hood-Schifino got it. That's when he was stuck behind Amen Thompson. Speaking of Amen Thompson, that's when he was behind Jalen Hood-Schifino. Anthony Black, Kaysen Wallace, Damian Lillard when he got stuck behind Scoot Henderson. And then Defensive Player of the Year, Victor Wembanyama, period. I mean, that's it. Most Improved Player, we had some fun ones. Anthony Black, Scoot Henderson, Jordan Walsh with that ridiculous season. Champions, there's a lot of Victors, but there is some Scoots, so you can't take that out. Kobe Buffkin when the Hawks made it to 3 in a row. Jason Tatum, he even beat Victor Wembanyama. John Morant, helped by Jarris Walker, won that championship. LaMelo Ball won it with Brandon Miller, and then they blew the team up because that's just what the Hornets do. Those were the champions. League leaders. Ton of Victor you can see here. Larry Griffith. Let's see where some of these guys rank in the NBA career records. So Victor Wembanyama was second in total points behind LeBron James. No surprises, but 38,902 points. Scoot came up 6th, not bad, 34,000 for him. Melo Ball, any other guys of note here? Bilal Coulibaly ended up 28th with 27,940 points. That's impressive. Brandon Miller, like I said, a little depressing. 27,350 puts him 31st. Kobe Buffkin gave you 27,041. He was one of the big surprises of this whole simulation experience. Taylor Hendricks, 26,266. Not bad for him. 3-pointers made. Victor Wembanyama, 8 feet tall, ended up 4th. That's just ridiculous. Scoot ended up 8th. It was really Scoot and Victor, though, at the end of this whole damn thing. Rebounds, where does Victor end up? Third, behind Bill Russell, behind Wilt Chamberlain. Nobody can catch those guys because they are statistical freaks. Where did a guy like Taylor Hendricks end up on this list? Bob Pettit, Mark Williams. Derek Lively ended up 36th, not bad, with 11,596. Yeah, there he is, pretty far back, 66th and 10,313 in rebounds. How about assists? Did anybody break John Stockton's record? No, but LaMelo Ball came close. Wow, 14,000. Scoot Henderson gave you 13,369. Nice. Darius Garland, Amen Thompson ended up 5th, 12,000. And then all the names that you know, Luka. Anthony Black actually ended up 13th ahead of Steve Nash. That's pretty impressive at 10,000. Blocks, Victor ended up 2nd. Oh, he was only about 60. What is that? 70 behind Hakeem the Dream to lead the NBA in history for blocks. Chet Holmgren 7th. Steals, John Stockton, Jason Kidd. Scoot did okay though at 3rd. Not too bad. Amen Thompson was 8th. Bilal Coulibaly was 9th. Minutes, Kareem is just unstoppable. So was LeBron James. Victor only ended up 8th as far as minutes are concerned. Turnovers, I don't really care. Points per game, that's not important. Field goal percentages, 3-point percentages, free throw percentages, rebounds per game, assists per game, blocks per game, games played. Anthony Edwards leads the league in games played in his career. Scoot Henderson ended up 5th, not too bad. Victor ended up 13th. Fouls, 40-point per game. Victor had 102 40-point per games, which is incredible because he's a million feet tall. How about 50? Nobody, just Wilt Chamberlain. It's just Wilt Chamberlain. Although Luka Doncic led the league in triple doubles for the career. That'll work. I don't think I see any of our guys here on this list. 20 years in, we can see that Victor Wembanyama took the NBA by storm. Scoot Henderson did his best. So did Amen Thompson. So did Bilal Coulibaly. So did Kobe Buffkin and Cam Whitmore. But all in all, this is Victor Wembanyama's league, and we're all just living in it. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.